All right. Having this said, I will welcome Tanja now. And of course, congratulations to your efforts paying off. Helsinki being one of the most smart governance cities worldwide. And I'm really curious.
Yes, thank you, Esther, so much for having me in this webinar. Could you put my slides on? That's HL. Another one, another presentation. This is Tuukka's presentation. Yes, that's the correct one. Thank you so much. So thank you for having this opportunity to give you a short overview to the work, what we do in Helsinki region regarding open data. So as we all know, our cities are full of data, and one of the key players in providing data and utilizing data are municipalities themselves. And for instance, at the city of Helsinki, we have about 900 different IT systems in use. So you can imagine how huge data masses we have inside the city organization. So the cities are responsible in providing different kind of services for their citizens. And even though we do and provide our services quite well way, we believe that we could do and provide these services much better way if we could have more open and collaborative model to provide services and make decision making. And that's the most important reason to start to release public data as open data for anyone to utilize freely. So in Helsinki region, we started to release public data as open data about 7 years ago, and the Helsinki region info-share service hri.fi website is the place where you can find all the open data sets regarding Helsinki and the neighboring cities, which are Espoo, Vantaa and Kauniainen. So we have this kind of typical open data portal available, and the main functionality of the service is this open data catalog. But in addition, we also provide interesting articles and instructions, and also the open data app gallery on our website. So it's more than just data catalog. This is our service. And yeah, we have released lots of data and we keep going, and every now and then we release new data, but at the same time we make sure that the all released data will be updated whenever they should be updated. And at the moment we are very much focusing on kind of open API first thinking. So whenever we are kind of considering to release new data, we are very willing to provide it via open API. And actually at the moment we are writing kind of API white paper at the city of Helsinki. So that will be very, very important document to support our work to go forward. So all the rules and principles regarding how we develop open APIs and so forth. So that will be very important guideline for our work. And in addition, we have also several IoT platforms in test use at the moment in Helsinki. And the idea is that if those platforms will be working, so the idea is to release the data as open data as well, if it's possible. So that kind of new steps we are taking in our field. So we get going data, but at the same time we are very much and more focusing on the use of data to get some kind of benefit out of the data. And the city of Helsinki has very ambitious aim at the moment, and based on the city strategy. And the idea is that the city of Helsinki wants to be the most functional city in the world And in that strategy, we have identified that one of the key drivers to make this aim reality is definitely data and also open data. So that gives us very strong mandate to keep going and do this open data work. And I already forgot to mention that this open data work is not anymore any project, but it's business as usual in our city and neighboring cities as well at the moment. So we have understood that it's not enough just release data and keep waiting to see great innovations, but we need to do more. Need to do more, and so we need to market our open datasets actively and also provide open platforms for open dialogue between the city and community. And one way to do that is to organize open meetups. And actually we organize these meetups once a month, and the concept is called Helsinki Developers. And during those events we will focus on a certain topic. For instance, last time we focused on culture and leisure data, and then we have dived into the historical data sets and geographical information and so forth. So this is very good way to share ideas around the certain topic and data as well. And in addition, we have very good cooperation with the universities and universities of applied sciences in our region, and because we very much believe in students, and they are very willing to learn new skills, and quite soon they are coming to the labor market, and so it's very very valuable and useful for them to understand the potential of open data, and at the same time they are kind of solving our everyday challenges we have inside city organizations. So this kind of cooperation is very valuable and needed. And yeah, I will give you some. I picked up some data sets to show you, and those data sets are one of the most popular data sets people are using from our service. One of those is about public services database, and this is kind of data treasure from my point of view. So we have a database where we have about over 10,000 different kind of points of interest regarding the whole Helsinki metropolitan area. So that database contains the information regarding schools, daycare places, museums, and so forth. And there's open API, so the content is available freely as open data. And there are several stakeholders utilizing this database, but what is great is that the city itself utilizes this open API as well in its own services. Another example is about public events. So the city organizes lots of many events every day, and that information is available as open data as well via open API. And again, city itself utilizes this data and this open API, but the other stakeholders, for instance, companies like this Eventmore, they are utilizing this data and providing value for their customers. And then an example about the Helsinki 3D city model. This is very great platform. So it's semantic city information model, but also kind of mesh model, and the both models are covering the whole Helsinki area. And this is very accurate and very valuable and useful for different kind of analysis, and also for the gaming industry, for instance. And the city itself is utilizing the same model in its city planning cases. And the last case is about information regarding city attractions, sites, and so forth. So at City of Helsinki, we have myhelsinki.fi website, and there you can find interesting information regarding all the attractions and different places. And very soon this content will be available as open data via My Helsinki Open API. And one of the first user of this API, kind of pilot user, is this Chinese giant company called Tencent. So Tencent has its own WeChat application, which is used by millions of Chinese people, and now they have created kind of mini program inside the WeChat application, and that mini program is retrieving information from this My Helsinki Open API and providing that information very, very user-friendly way for their customers. So when Chinese people are coming to the Helsinki, they can find that information in a very easy way from the application they are already using in their own country. So this is very breakthrough in tourism, so to say. And actually, City of Helsinki was just nominated as the capital of tourism in Europe, and this is one of the arguments why we achieved that nomination, and we are very happy and proud of that work. And I forgot to mention that actually this myhelsinki.fi website is already utilizing different open data sets. For instance, this public service data and public events data. So it's very great example of utilizing open data in our own city services, and again releasing its own content as open data as well. And this WeChat My Helsinki mini program is also going to utilize this public transport information, and Tuukka will tell you more about that case. That's very exciting as well. So that's my part, very quick overview to the work, what we do in Helsinki and Helsinki region in 10 minutes. But if you want to know more about our work, please visit our website, hr.fi, and follow us in social media. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Tanja. Very inspiring. Once again, if someone has questions, feel free to either type them or use your microphone to target them. I see that someone's typing. How do you help tourists and citizens to find your public toilets?
Actually, the information regarding toilets should be available at this public service database. I can check it out. So that should be available already via Open API. So I can send you a link to that service. Just a moment.
All right. Thank you. We have more questions being typed in at the moment. Not as in the meanwhile, as long as they are typed in, I wanted to ask you. I find it really inspiring how you describe that you are engaging the next generation of maybe smart citizens with your collaborations with universities, and given that Helsinki is really mature in their smart city initiatives, I would like to ask you how important is data literacy, and what is the smart citizen in a smart city?
Yeah. So what is the status of literacy, data literacy, or was that your question?
So, how important is data literacy, and what makes a smart citizen?
Yeah, it's very important, in my opinion, at least, and so it's very important to make people aware of these things and understand these opportunities. And yeah, some of people are very aware of everything, and another part of people are not so aware of this thing. So it differs a lot, and we meet quite a lot of people. So yeah, it differs, but it's very important thing. Yeah.
So it stays the potential and the challenge to raise awareness for open data and the benefits.
Yeah.
Even in such a
very because we have this. So we have these software developers who are very much know everything, and then we have this older people and who have different kind of view to this topic and so forth. So it differs quite a lot.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Benedikt, you raised your hand. You also wanted to say something.
Yes, I have a question. Right.
Go ahead.
I took a brief look on your accessibility map, public services. So I have a question. So what I'm struggling with a lot is, where do you see your role as a city to provide such kind of information, maybe even visualization, and where do you see the role of Google or similar platform? Because you see everybody is using Google, and people are starting to be less willing to go on other apps than is actually Google, something like that. And Google provides this kind of information. When I want to see where the toilets is, where the restaurant is, I use Google. So do you cooperate, think about cooperation with Google and maybe like growing this?
Could you raise your voice a little bit, Benedikt? Sorry to interrupt. Could you speak a little bit louder?
Yeah. Okay. I already finished my question. Is it better? Is it better now?
Yes, much better. Thank you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Go.
So yeah, how I understand it is that the public services is the core service we provide for citizens, and it's very important that our residents know where the public services are and how they are accessible and how to go there and so forth. So okay, Google can do that and does that, but from my point of view, it's our duty to serve our residents and tourists as well as possible, and provide the information about the services and so forth as easy way as possible. And also we want to provide reliable and relevant information. So that's another thing. Yeah. And actually that service map I linked here is full of openness, so to say. So there's several open data resources behind this user interface, and actually this whole thing is open source as well. So we are very agile and utilizing our own dog's food kind of thing, and also releasing the source code as open data if some other region or city is willing to do similar kind of stuff, so it's possible.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I see that there's one question being typed in, so it's disappearing. So maybe we can come back to that question later. Oh, now there it is. Do you have any study regarding to how many people, let's say, access open data regularly or randomly, only a few times a year, the demographic stats and so on from residents?
So yeah, we have this Google Analytics, so we can see how many people there are online and browsing our website. And so we have that kind of statistics, and of course we have the numbers, how many downloads and so forth. So some of the datasets are not so popular, to be honest, and some of the datasets are very popular, so to say. And another issue is that anyone can get the data out of our service and redistribute that, so we are not aware of how many people are actually utilizing that data. We provide a certain data, and who are the users and how they use the data. So we have to accept that we are not aware of all the users and use cases at all.
It raises an interesting point. I think the question of say open data is open for anyone to reuse, and no one has to register to reuse it, which is lowering a barrier for reuse. And on the other hand, of course, it might be insightful to see who is using the data and in which way. So I think that thank you, Pavel, for the question, and Tanja for the answer. Touches a very real and common aspect of open data and reuse in smart cities and in general. If there are no more questions at the moment for Tanja, I hope that towards the end of the webinar we will have more time for questions. I would like to invite Tuukka. Would you like to proceed with your presentation?
Yes.